everyone has concluded that the Knicks stink, and this has got to be the greatest hell remaining of any kind in the playoffs. There can't be a greater hell that you turn to your bench trying to figure out what to do to save your postseason and your season, and Quentin Grimes is your solution.
Line drive, Quentin Grimes.
The Quentin Grimes adjustment.
They beat the Knicks at their own game yesterday. I mean, offensive rebounds.
Missing shots?
I can't. Oh, yes, rebounding shots that both teams are missing because everybody was missing shots. It is such a bad basketball compared to the other basketballs being watched in the playoffs. Like, it really is.
The Knicks are ruining it for the Heat. It doesn't feel like the playoffs right now, so I feel like it's going to end up harming them in the next round because this is just so regular season feeling that they're going to go into the next series. And this team stinks. The saddest three-headed monster I've ever seen. I don't ever do, I'm not one that gets all crazy and ripping people. This team, not scary at all.
I think it proves to even delusional New Yorkers who run in the street when they get a playoff victory, this is the clarity of, we need a player better than all the ones we have if we actually want to play at this level. We need somebody to be at the front of this so Randle and Brunson could get back a little further in the line and not be relied on. Randle played very well for Randle yesterday. You saw a lot of people on television pointing out that Randle, by efficiencies, is basically the worst postseason player. Takes a lot of bad shots, is a different player in the playoffs with his inefficiencies, can't be trusted. He played pretty well.
I thought he was the worst player on the court last night. He was awful. 6 turnovers, 5 of them being pick sixes, doing absolutely nothing defensively. Anytime Max Strus gets switched on to him, Max Strus looks like he has the quickest first step in the league. Julius Randle is a garbage man. Terrible basketball player. Get that guy out of there. He's a bum.
Randle's career percentage shooting is 32%, the worst of all time in the playoffs for anybody with at least 200 shot attempts.
What I should have said, on one end of the floor, Julius Randle did not kill you, even with the 6 turnovers, because they need people who create offense, for better or worse, and they analyzed it. TNT was saying you cannot be somebody who is Julius Randle's skill set and relying on making consistently tough baskets. Like, I like that he's aggressive. He will go into the paint and cause you problems that Brunson can only cause you with floaters. That he can do things with elbows and knees to break down your defense and create offensive rebounds because they're a physical team. But I can't imagine how frustrated the Knicks were last night in the number of times where the Heat are getting 3 and 4 shots because they're getting offensive rebounds, which is not the Heat's game.
You can have for the rest of my life, Knicks fans, the dish out to R.J. Barrett for 3. Yep. The rest of my life you can have that. That is just never going to scare me.
They're sold that at least R.J. Barrett is maturing. Like there's no fool's gold here. The guy, shoots 27% from 3? But
he's playing hard. I'll give R.J. Barrett that. Of all the guys, he seems to be the one. He has the face on of, this is the playoffs and we need to be different. But it's just not even close.
He's just performing better than expected, and they're just looking for something. Right. They're not a good basketball team. They weren't a good basketball team.
Don't say that. That's not true.
They beat up on the Cavs.
That's not true, Mike.
They're not a good basketball team.
Is this the best team? Let's rank this Knicks team. This is the best Knicks team since when?
Hold on, guys. We are 4 games removed from them pulling off a surprise I did not think they were going to pull off against Cleveland. This is an above-average basketball team, but we're in the depths. We're in the deep water of the playoffs.
They're garbage. Garbage basketball.
They're making this Heat team, which is admittedly one of the worst ones we've had in a few seasons.
Yeah.
And they're making us look like a team that can make the finals. The Heat are probably going to have a wake-up call next series, but it's just this Knicks team, poop.
I'm happy Chris mentioned that because I was getting visibly upset at how bad the Knicks were because they are not preparing the Miami Heat enough for the next round.
That's ridiculous. If they play Boston in the next round, they're not going to be up for that series?
It'll take a game.
Get out of here.
It'll take a game. That first game, they're going to come out so flat. They're going to be like, whoa, this is a
professional
team?
basketball
Oh, my
team.
God, Jaylen Brown, he's good.
You guys are acting like the Heat are winning these games by 30 points.
This has nothing to do with the Heat.
If they shot normally, they would have won that game by 30 points.
This is just how ordinary the Knicks are. The Heat I'm not saying the Heat are something special. The Heat are just dealing with a team like the Knicks, and they're gonna it's easy. Heat in 5.
Yeah, we're finally beating bad teams like we should be.
Nobody likes that guy
What?
who's up 3-1 and says Heat in 5 with his chest out.
Oh, what do
When
you
you're
mean?
From 3-1? From
What do you
up
mean?
3-1?
An 8 seed, the first ever 8 seed with multiple 3-1 leads in the playoffs. How about us?
I was rooting for the Knicks last night just so I could get a better price on the Heat.
Yeah. They're such a disappointment. And the media and all their fans gassed them up, and they actually made the Knicks were favored in this series.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Favored.
Dan, I'm never like this cocky Heat fan. This is just in the perspective of the Knicks. Like, I'm not saying that they're going to beat the I'm not feeling confident about the next series. I think the winner of the East is coming out of that. I'm sorry, culture chatter. I don't want to get taken off the island. But right now in this series, this is not even close. The Knicks are far away.
This is surprising to me because what this has been to me is a show of the Heat playing their best version of their game and taking an above-average basketball team in the Knicks out of their game completely. The Knicks are not good enough to advance far in the playoffs. They don't have enough shooting. If you're going to build around those 3 players, you need elite shooters all over the floor to be able to help them, and they just simply don't have the personnel. The Heat should have swept this series, right? If not for Josh Hart throwing his legs into Jimmy's ankle, this is a clean sweep, and the Heat are clearly, dominating the Knicks. But on the same token, like, the games have been close by score, but I think what's fair is, like, last night, even in a game that was single digits most of the way, talking to anybody, like, it never felt really close. I don't think for any of the players
you
or the
weren't
media.
scared because you guys see this is what's happened down here, and I understand how it's happened. The insanity and frenzy of every regular season game matters because it's LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, and the country does not like your team and is rooting against you. The insanity of that has made it so that you're watching that Knicks game and you get so much great comfort in, well, we're leading the entire time. I don't have to be afraid of deficits or the stuff that was happening against Milwaukee where I'm down 16 and I'm really scared because I know they're better than we are, or I fear that they're better than we are. This team, you feel like you're better than, and also the games are going wire to wire. You're never threatened in any meaningful way. And as the season's being decided last night, you got the voice of Julius Randle saying that maybe they want it more than us. And the video I have from yesterday is Julius Randle with a super sloppy pass. He throws his head down. This is not the guy that you want saying, I guess they just want it more than us. When the play I remember from last night is him really sloppy with a pass. Heat get a fast break. Brunson's killing himself to get back there and defend Vincent. Vincent misses the layup, and there are only Heat players there because Julius Randle's back at half court like, oh, why didn't you catch that lazy pass of mine? Let's listen to this Randle sound after the game.
Julius, you guys haven't been able to get the amount of offensive rebounds and loose balls that you were in the Cleveland series. Just what have they done maybe to kind of beat you at your own game almost?
And just maybe they wanted more. I don't know. That's been who we are all year, and we got to find a way to, step up and make those plays if we want to keep this season alive.
The Knicks are and were the entire regular season good at offensive basketball, and what I've seen over 4 games is, oh look, Miami's better at defense than the Knicks are at offense. Because Miami's not shooting well in these games.
But what's so good about their offense? Just Jalen Brunson gets into the paint? I know he's good at that, but
No,
that's
their
the
regular
offense?
season numbers were good offensive numbers. And yes, Brunson and Randle were
Despite
really good
not
for
being
them
a good
this year.
shooting team. Like last night was kind of in line with their normal season performances from 3. It's the lack of in-game adjustments is a little weird. The double team is getting absolutely cooked by Jimmy Butler because he's a smart basketball player, and he said it himself. I love it when teams double team me and triple team me because he is always going to make the smart play, and then that person is going to make the smart play and pass it to the next open man.
53 of their points, I think, last night came from Jimmy Butler on double teams, just passing out of them.
Yeah, I think you got to trust hard to defend Jimmy one-on-one, but it's honestly too late. The series is over. Everything is over.
The part that's been great for the Heat is it does feel like this is a team that's just coming into their own at the right time, where you're looking at a roster that, look, the whole thing was run it back, and everybody kind of laughed at that when this team was struggling and continued to point out, oh, look at the ceiling of this player or that player. But realistically, while Kevin Love hasn't done all that much in terms of really changing what they do on the floor, his outlet passes have been amazing. He's hit a few key shots, including last night in the third quarter. His vibe, like, it sounds crazy, but his vibe and being the bridge.
Oh, come on. His vibe is the Knicks.
Being the bridge from
right.
Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry to the rest of this
he's got a
team
vibe.
does make a difference. These guys genuinely like each other. You can see it.
Guys,
I'm
listen,
there.
Jeremy's there. So stop dismissing Jeremy.
I
You're
don't-
not there.
I don't doubt that he is there. I am dismissing the idea of a vibe being brought.
No, he's right. Jeremy's right.
It's completely different.
Jeremy is right.
It's completely different. I know winning kind of begets this, but that it's totally different. And you want to dismiss it as Knicks, and did they not just beat the Milwaukee Bucks?
You guys have been just saying that they're poop again and again. I don't want to hear about
I've been telling you all season long
said
that
they
the
were
vibes were terrible in that building, that no one liked each other, that it was super tense, and Kevin Love comes into the team, and it's diluted all that tension, and he's found a way to go between clicks, and he's just been a good locker room
And just
guy.
looking at the Knicks, they're like, you know what? Hey, guys, we got it pretty good around here.
Hey, look, it turns out all you need is love. Am I right?
Oh, for
Huh?
the love of God.
He's right about that.